Teaching number 141. People, I see your struggle and your efforts, I also contemplate your patience to suffer, complying with the lessons of my doctrine. The fight is in all the paths that man has to travel, understand that not only you have to travel it. Now more than ever you must be strong. Watch and pray and, at the crack of dawn, be with me and I will illuminate you at that moment, so that my light may accompany you in all the works that you are going to execute on that day. It does not matter that you have no words or ideas to form a sentence, it is enough for me that you raise your thoughts towards infinity, because I will know how to interpret the language of your heart. The spiritual struggle of this time, you see reflected in many homes. Marriages that do not share the same ideas, some, in which the man follows me, others in which it is the woman who drags everything to follow me full of faith, while the partner hurts her at every step with his mockery and disbelief. Many times when they are together in their bedroom, their spirits live distant from each other. The attention and tenderness of other times have given way to violent words and hurtful phrases, then the flame of faith, which burns in the heart, trembles whipped by the storm of passions and exalted feelings. There are homes in which the children, some in their childhood and others in their youth, are impressed by witnessing this struggle between their parents, and they also feel that restlessness, doubt, arises in their hearts and they ask themselves, who is it that I must agree with? Who will be the possessor of the truth? Which of them should I follow and by what advice should I be guided? This fight is bitter and painful, but it had to arise between you, because you were not prepared to understand my new lessons. The same thing happened in the second era within families, because while some of its members gave their lives assuring that Jesus, the Christ, was the Messiah, others denied him all truth and longed to see his doctrine exterminated. To you who come to listen to me and who have this battle in your home, I tell you to bring the light of my doctrine, so that you have the necessary tact to act wisely. May there be charity in your heart, may the intelligence and love of your actions guide you in your home, that you take strength in my word so that you have patience in the hard test that constitutes your restitution. Do not be afraid, because if you know how to comply in the way that I am teaching you, you will see wonders working among your people, and there will be times when the most reluctant, when the most unbelieving will later become the most fervent. I touch those hearts by granting them the proof that is necessary for them to believe. Do not cry, people, hurry this test with love, that the patience and faith with which you endure it will be your reward. Conclude that understanding that you all love the same God and do not quarrel over the difference in how each other has been doing so. It is necessary that you come to understand that there are beings in whom beliefs, traditions and customs have taken such deep roots that it will not be easy for you to uproot them the first moment you indoctrinate them. Be patient and over the years you will achieve it. There are those who listen to me once, and from that moment they surrender to me full of faith. Instead there are others, who come in search of my word, one, another and many times more, without feeling that inner illumination. This is because not all the spirits march in unison, because while some are about to feel me, others still need to evolve more and become stronger with the tests that purify the spirit, to understand my revelations. Spiritualism is causing a worldwide battle between ideas, beliefs and worships. But after this struggle, this doctrine will bring men the blessed peace that they need so much and will make the sun of my divine justice shine on all spirits. This stage of light, which has been my spiritual communication, will go unnoticed by many. However, signs and events that are very clear will remain as indelible footprints that will mark two important events for humanity, the beginning and the end of my communication, so that men study, investigate and finally come to accept that the Lord was once more among them. I will prepare my children to write the book that will contain my lectures and lessons, which will become a torrent of crystalline water, a river of life that will quench the thirst for spirituality and the longing for light of this humanity. Now that 2 eras have passed over you and the third begins, I come in spirit in search of your fruit, and in the silence of your heart I hear you say to me, Father, how little we can present to you that is good and how little we have advanced on the road. The time in which I will continue speaking to you under this form is already short and you must hasten your step and improve your works, because the congregations are attentive to your example, the multitudes are willing to follow and imitate you, but you must testify with your works of love to be believed. Thoroughly study my teachings and analyze my orders, so that when the time comes you rise up in pursuit of the paths that I show you, point out your mission and you can make those who have part come out of their lethargy, and at the same time you can save who was lost at the crossroads. I want you to know the path before you walk it. Have I not told you that my word is the way? Well, listen to me and study. No one is going to get up tracing the path to his will, nor creating laws or altering my mandates, because he will go to the abyss together with those he seduces. If you have the conviction and faith that you are the people of the Lord, who have crossed the desert of this life for a long time, do not forget the law for an instant, do not be unfaithful to your Father, nor lose the route that leads to the goal that your spirit pursues, the one that you call the Promised Land, because that is the home of the perfect light where your Father awaits you. Who can say that he is weak when he receives my strength every moment? Who can say that he is hungry, when so many times he has sat down to eat the bread of true life at my table? You all have inheritance, gifts, and if you sometimes feel weak or poor, it is because you still have little faith. Reluctant is your flesh to let manifest how much good the Spirit brings, but on the other hand, how easily it allows to reflect the bad inclinations or the insane tendencies that the Spirit harbors. Observe this in children, who by themselves tear the veil of their innocence, or are rebellious in the face of good deeds. Not all who return to earth arrive purified, there are those who need to drink the bitterest chalices that life offers in its lessons, and endure the harshest tests so that they bow down, sweeten and convert. The world will shake with the light of my new revelations and men will know the truth. When I speak to you as Father, it is the book of the law that is opened before you. When I speak to you as Master, it is the book of love that I show to my disciples. When I speak to you as the Holy Spirit, it is the book of wisdom that enlightens you with its teachings and that form a single doctrine, because they come from a single God. The day is near when this communication will cease, that is why I spread my word extensively so that this people remain strong and prepared. You can all say that in this time you have seen me, some with the heart, others with the mind and others with the Spirit. When you have enjoyed yourselves with my divine teachings, you have seen me, when you attend the fulfillment of some of my prophecies, you have looked at me, and when you feel in your being the presence of spiritual communications, you have contemplated me. I have allowed myself to be looked at in different forms, so that you can bear witness to my coming in this third era. Did you think that the only way to see me was with the eyes of your body? Before the spiritual, your material eyes are the most limited way of seeing. Did you think it was essential to see me as a man, as the world saw me in the second era, so that you could say, I have seen him? No, disciples, the Spirit feels with greater perfection than the heart, the mind, or the senses, and it is the one that has understood me. My word gives birth to the truth in some, and resurrects others to true life, because materialism is death. The book of knowledge opens to reveal to you how many gifts and attributes you possess, many of them still unknown to you. You know that I have come to give you one more of my lessons, to later send you to give the good news to humanity. Do you hope to penetrate the heart of one of your brothers, without knowing what is heart and what is spirit? How long ago you were endowed by the Father and you still do not know what your spirit possesses, but the era of spirituality has finally arrived for humanity. Everything unknown will be known, what is hidden will come to light and every mystery will be clarified, because the Spirit of truth is being poured out on all spirit and on all flesh. When men know spiritually, who they are and know their origin, they will not have enough tears to mourn the faults that due to ignorance, pride, and their reluctance made them commit, but after purification my mantle of forgiveness will cover the world and a new era will begin. Don't you think that when light shines in the lives of men and their consciences illuminate, there will be a change in their lives? Yes, because the tribulations, the wars, everything that afflicts some and loses others, is due to a lack of spiritual light, that which you can call conscience, justice, or love. O people, the day is coming when I will stop speaking to you in this way. Take advantage of my teachings so that you can resist the whirlwinds that threaten you. Men will come to you to ask for proof that you spoke with Jesus and that you received his lessons from him. You are leafing through the book of my teaching in which the law, the prophecies, and my word given through the ages are written. Everything will be engraved in your spirit in the end. This is the inheritance that I leave you. Try, experiment and study my work, analyze it. When you have discovered and known its essence, you will feel immensely loved by the Father and you will also love me. If for having responded to my call, your brothers murmur, close your ears and be silent, they are innocent, but if you take this cause to judge them, woe to you, because you have already been illuminated by the light of your conscience and you know what you are doing. I am the judge of every spirit and I know who truly loves me. Not everyone who calls me Father is with me, many of those who proclaim that they are my chosen ones and that they are serving me have not understood me. You can deceive one another, but me, who can deceive me? I have taught you equality, love and humility. If your destiny is apparently different, the purpose that I have indicated to all is the same. Guide yourselves by your conscience, it will always speak to you with justice, and you will know if you are within my law, if you have done acts worthy of offering them to your Father. I love the pure and if you want to please me, be clean. There will come a time when the world will demand you, asking you for powerful works that demonstrate your great gifts, and if you are not prepared, many will deny me like Peter and say that they never heard me, that they did not know me, and you know that for a long time my word has been your food and consolation. What have you asked me that I have not granted? I have given you many proofs of love to encourage your faith. Blessed are the meek and humble, who know how to accept the trials of their life with conformity and without despair. Analyze my word, feel it and practice it, so that your faith is more firm every day. Open the doors of your heart and your understanding. With what works do you come to glorify me? All of you are silent, the Spirit is silent, and also matter is silent before my presence. You bow your head and humiliate yourselves. I do not want my children to humiliate themselves before me, I want them to be worthy of raising their face and contemplating mine, because I do not come looking for servants or slaves, I do not come looking for beings who feel proscribed or exiled. I come to my children whom I taught the path of redemption through the blood of the divine Lamb, so that when they hear my fatherly voice they throw themselves into my arms. Lo and behold, I arrive at the house of Jacob and I only see fear within it, I hope to find a party and there is only silence. Why, people? Because your conscience claims your faults and prevents you from experiencing joy at my arrival. It is that you have not loved each other, it is that you have not worked as Jesus taught you. You have lacked spiritual preparation to sense the shadow of pain that lies in wait for you, and it is necessary for your Father to materialize and speak in your language, so that you can know that the war is advancing, that each time the weapons are stronger and in midst of it, the angel of peace sobs. Riding on the wings of the wind, the plague advances moment by moment, and in the spiritual there are thousands of beings that day after day stir in the fields of hatred and contention and whose confusion clouds your mind and your heart. The elements are unleashed, waking up the men of science from their sleep, but these, obstinate in their greatness, continue their destructive work among humanity, while you forget to pray, to fulfill the mission that the Father has entrusted to you to love one another. You know intimately that the mission of making peace weighs on your spirit since those times when I said to Jacob, Behold, I will give you a numerous seed in which the peoples of the earth will be blessed. That is why you are silent before me. Do you think that the laws of man compel you to close your lips, which I have prepared for you to bear witness to me? Do not be men of little faith, if I have chosen you, it is because I know that you are able and know how to serve me. On this day I tell you, if the nations want peace, I put it within their reach, if they still want more war, they will have it and through it, the scepter of my justice will fall on the earth. If humanity, persecuting my new disciples, tries to prevent them from healing the sick and speaking of my doctrine, the strangest diseases will be unleashed among men, the men of science will become ill, others, their tongues will be silenced, many will be blinded and others will lose their minds. The gates of the afterlife will open and legions of troubled spirits will devastate regions and possess men. Then, before the impotence of the men of science, my humble servants will stand up giving proof of my power, by means of which many will believe. A long time ago I have announced all these prophecies to you, in spite of which you remain deaf and even blind. You are ungrateful, unfaithful and wavering. It is necessary that I speak to you in this way, but do not take my word of love mistaking it for a whip. I love you, Come to my arms so that you feel my warmth, come close to me, so that you feel the peace of my kingdom. You are the ones who have searched for me through the desert, you are the ones who have always walked in pursuit of my promise. Are you tired of this life? Well, rest for a moment under the shade of this tree, tell me here your worries, confide in me, crying on my chest. When will you be with me forever? I already want to contemplate peace in every spirit. Let the lark for now spread its wings over the entire universe, so that you feel its peace and warmth. Women, you are the ones who, with your prayer, preserve the little peace that exists on earth, the ones who, as faithful guardians of the home, take care that it does not lack warmth. In this way you join Mary, your celestial mother, to break human arrogance. Men, I have made you lords in this land, so that you may represent me in it. Your spirit is similar to that of the Father and your body is similar to the universe. Do not judge the perfection of your body by its dimensions, but by the wonderful life that exists in it, its order and its harmony. In all its perfection, the body is limited, and the moment arrives when it stops growing, then the intelligence and feelings continue to develop, until death stops them so that the spirit rises from there and grows endlessly in eternity. Make your home a second temple, your affections a second adoration of God. If you want to love me, love your wife and love your children, because great works, thoughts and examples will arise from that temple. All of you are at this time Elijah's sheep, some living in his fold, others still lost. The light of the sixth seal illuminates all spirits at this time, both incarnated and disincarnated. While some on earth take this light for the advancement or salvation of their spirit, others take it to penetrate without respect into the mysteries of science and discover new wonders. They are the profane and disobedient hands that still cut the fruits of the tree of knowledge to poison the heart of humanity. I tell you at this moment before Elijah, that you are living the sixth stage that humanity will travel on earth, as an image of one of the 7 steps that your spirit will climb in the afterlife. In the first epoch, Abel represented me on earth, Noah in the second, in the third Jacob, Moses in the fourth, Jesus in the fifth, in the sixth which is the present, Elijah, and on the 7th the Holy Spirit will reign. What have you done to my envoys? The first fell under the blow of his own brother moved by envy. The second was unknown and mocked by the multitudes of unbelievers and idolaters. The third lived giving evidence of my power, receiving instead the ingratitude of even his own at every step. The fourth had to break the tablets of the law due to the little faith of his people whom he loved so much. The fifth, Jesus, having been announced his coming, was not expected, nor believed, nor loved, and after delivering his message of love to the world, he received from men the most ignominious death that a prophet or messenger has ever suffered. The sixth has come in spirit at this time, however, the darts of doubt, indifference and mockery pursue him. When the 7th seal is loosed and instead of an envoy it is the same Spirit of the Eternal who enlightens men, who will try to hurt me or kill me then? I speak to you like this, so that tomorrow you will not be mistaken for theologians. Each seal has shone in its time and has left its light in the spirit of my children. Thus the voice of the word is also heard in the 6th seal. People, pray before Mary, she is divine tenderness made a woman in the 2nd era, purity misunderstood by materialized humanity, virginity that cannot be analyzed by the minds of men and that can only be felt by those who purify themselves and their feelings. The mantle of your celestial mother has shaded the world from eternity, covering with my children who are also her children. Mary, her spirit, was not born into the world, her maternal essence has always been of me. She is the bride of my purity, of my holiness. She was my daughter when she became a woman and my mother when she conceived the incarnate Word. The Master tells you, you have taken care of yourselves a lot, and for that reason you have forgotten the others. It is necessary that you put an end to your indifference to the pain and needs of others and strip yourselves of your selfishness. When pain comes your way, prepare to receive it. When you look closely at the trial, pray as Jesus did in the garden on the eve of his death and say like him, My Father, if it is possible take this cup away from me, but first your will and not mine be done. Be vigilant, my children, because if you prepare yourselves, on many occasions I will remove the chalice of bitterness from your lips. But if you have to drink it, by your compliance and submission to the divine will I will clothe you with strength to endure. Do not forget that pain purifies and that when it is suffered with love and elevation, it not only washes away your own stains, but even those of others. Offer me your pain and it will not be barren. How much useless pain there has been among humanity. But he who has been able to suffer until the end of his restitution and carry his cross, has reached the top of the mountain when he thought he would fall forever. The world has not reached for your prayers and merits in the tests of peace that it should receive, because when you are under these trials, you only think of yourselves to lament and rebel, instead of praying to the Father and telling him, if only one of my fellow men can reach an atom of peace for the bitter chalice that I drink, with what satisfaction I will drink to the last drop. And the Master tells you, whoever prays like this will make his love reach to benefit many of his brothers. People, the apparent peace has been made in the nations, but you must not proclaim that peace has come. Close your lips. True peace cannot be built on a foundation of fear or material pleasures. Peace has to be born of love, of brotherhood. Men are building on sand and not on rock, and when the waves stir again, they will hit those walls and the building will come crashing down. I have proposed my peace to men through conscience, to tell them, here I am, but they have not wanted to listen to me. Sometimes they act like children and like fools. I tell you that they act like children, because they do not reveal in their acts the light that the Spirit collects in a long evolution. Living in the third era, they have not yet realized what peace means. If his spirit is lethargic, his heart is even more so because he does not feel what charity is, nor has it come to vibrate with love for humanity, but a pain more bitter than wormwood will come to them, by which they will wake up and become sensitized. I will not be the one who offers men this chalice, because that bitterness cannot exist in me. All the pain caused by men will be gathered in a single chalice that will be drunk by those who originated it, and those who were never moved by pain will now shudder in their spirit and in their matter. That time is coming, when you will see that the peoples are moved by strange and surprising events. You will know of men who were great in the world and who will abandon their peoples and nations, to search in the desert, in solitude, for peace with their conscience. Others, who have been notable for their hatreds and ambitions, will surprise the world, because suddenly their mouths will speak words of love and peace. It will be because my light will envelop you and my spirit will speak on your lips. Are you already prepared for these events, to find a solution and fair explanation to the questions and to bring light to disturbed or confused minds? I have been preparing you for a long time and you cannot yet be the soldiers of peace. Look at the nations, how little time is enough for them to prepare for war and how they move to the bowels of the earth. See how the force of their hatred makes their influence felt even in the most remote places, while you are not able to make them feel peace. Is hate stronger than love? Is darkness more powerful than light? Does evil have greater scope than good? No, my children. I am not rebuking you, I am only waking you up with love to tell you that it is not difficult to work in the field of Jesus and that you must persevere in your amendment. When for a moment you have the purpose of regenerating yourselves, your spirit is pleased and you feel closer to your Father, but the fears lie in wait for your steps and make you fall. Rise definitively, realize that you are living a time different from the first and the second, in which the material and spiritual elements are shaken everywhere. It is a battle that is visible only to those who are spiritually prepared, and invisible to those who are not. Millions of human and spiritual beings stir in this whirlwind, some making the light, others looking for it, some sowing darkness, others fleeing from it. Woe to those seeking the light who faltered at this time. Millions of invisible eyes contemplate you to make you fall. I want you to be the good seed that comes to invade the fields where weeds have grown. Like an overflowing sea, evil advances and envelopes heart by heart, its impure waters penetrate homes, the hearts of children, the minds of youth, the purest of women. Your noblest institutions are profaned, the most sacred too. Meanwhile, what are you doing? Are you also one of the blind people who do not realize it? Are you going to shut yourself away in your selfishness to seek a little peace for your heart, are you going to shut yourself up within the four walls of your bedroom so as not to let the din of war or the lamentations of men reach there? You will not say that the Master did not speak to you in prophecy, when you see the time that I announce to you arrives. But before peace is made among mankind, the fire will burn the weeds from all over the face of the earth, the unleashed waters will wash and the snows will purify. Awaken disciples. Be prepared so that you are not surprised because you will be fought with words, deeds and through books. Weapons and calumnies will be prepared against you. You will also witness a battle of ideas, of doctrines and theories. Theologians will try to scrutinize beyond where they have scrutinized, philosophers will launch new ideas into the world, men of science will proclaim their knowledge as the only truth. The fanatics of religions will rise up in groups to launch themselves against each other. That will be the time for which you must be prepared, because your voice will be the only one that is heard serene and aware. Do you see how much I announce to you? Do you already see how small you are and how many scars and imperfections you still have? Well, you will serve me and your offering will be pleasant and fragrant before my divinity. The tabernacle, the ark and the law are in your heart. To you, however humble, I will reveal what the wise will not understand. People, at this time you returned as the prodigal son to the Father's house, I have received you and I have told you, you are the firstborn, but in your absence the other brothers have gone away. I was left alone and in my loneliness I have cried, now you have returned and I tell you, sit at the table, there are the bread, the fruits and the wine. In the other room are the farming tools. You, then, have wept for your ingratitude and disobedience, recognizing that you have been the outcast among other peoples who did not receive what you received, you have begged for your gifts to be returned to you, and your wealth has been returned to you. I have made you recognize that in the disunity of humanity you have great responsibility, then I have entrusted you with a sword of love so that with it you can bend those who perpetuate fratricidal wars and bring them before my presence. Your mission is one of peace, brotherhood and spirituality. I do not come to demand your present works from your heart, but to remind your spirit of its past, and make it understand the sublime mission that awaits it in eternity. My peace be with you.